Let's try this again. Welcome back here for the common game. This is Atarka world render for deck number 363. We're going to try this again. I got halfway through the video and the thing just crashed. So here we go. Hopefully I'll remember it all. Now, Atarka is a 7 mana 6/4. This is dragons are not cheap creatures to cast, you know. She's got flying, and whenever a dragon attacks, it gains double strike, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that's pretty ballin', and it does make you want to play, you know, tribal dragons. So that's what I did. But first off, dragons cost mana, so let's try to get our ramp on. Of course, we got the Rampant Growth, Kodama's Reach, the non-arcane Reach, Cultivate, Grow from the Ashes, Harrow, and even though we're not supposed to be playing it, the Explosive Vegetation, because I like it. Now, then we move to the artifacts. Of course, Soul Ring, the Diamond, Ingot, the Clue Stone, the Key Rune, Monument, Firewall Border Post. I like the Border Post. I really wish they did the enemy cycle as well. Maybe we'll get that one day. I don't know. Commander Masters. Oh, nope, because we're not getting any more Master sets for a while. Everflowing Chalice. And then, of course, we got the two dudes that make dragons cheaper. You know, the one cheaper and the two cheaper. And, of course, Mana Geyser. Oh, man, y'all know I love Mana Geyser. This is, spell-wise, this is probably the only one in the deck. The other one is not so much. But Mana Geyser, easy. Most of the time, it's 5 for 20-ish. I mean, you get a bunch of mana out of Mana Geyser. Now, I do tend to play in larger games. I'll play in 6, 7, 8-player games sometimes. So the more players you add to the table, the better Mana Geyser gets, obviously. Now, Manamorphose is in there because this is just holding a spot. And I figure if I was holding a spot, Manamorphose, I mean, it does replace itself. You get just about no net gain off of this. I mean, we're not storming or anything here. This should be Udvar Hailkite. Don't have a Hailkite because it is probably one of the pinnacle dragons that you put in a tribal dragon deck. So there are a few cards that, if I'd had, I would have put it in here. This is more of a, I don't want to say a beginner deck, but this is a deck that somebody who just really loves dragons, or maybe they're new to the format, and it can, I say that with a, you know, Chinese general. It's because I bought that set of Chinese anyway. But yes, Metamorphose is an Udvar Hailkite eventually at some point. Now I am playing double meat, double cheese because we love to draw some cards and lay some lands. Now, I guess without further ado, we need to get into the lands, or to the dragons. Dragon. I don't do that tongue thing. Now, when you say Magic Dragon, this is what pops in my head. It's this art of this card, and Shivan Dragon has been. I still get butterflies thinking about it from way back, because this was the Air Force, man, right here, and you just won games with Shivan Dragon, but so I had to put it in there because that's just, you know, old man Magic talking. And then we're going to blow through some of these, you know, the Hellkite, Siege Dragon, Spawn of Thraxos. I do want to stop and talk about the Savage Ventmaw, though, because I love this. Whenever it attacks, you get this 6 mana. And then the Hellkite Charger says, whenever he attacks, you can pay 7 mana. If you do, you get another attack step. Sounds like something I want to be a part of. Of course, the Moonveil Dragon has Team Breathing. Now, Fire Breathing, you hardly ever use it, you know, except for the final blow, maybe. Or if you just got to kill a creature, whatever. But Team Breathing for 1 mana, that's some sweet stuff. Volcanic Dragon from Mirage. Yeah, it's, I don't want to do this update right now. No. Okay, now I can see again. And then the Canopy Dragon, of course. Of course, we got Shock Maw. Hoarding Dragon I saw played pretty good effect last night. Demanding Dragon. Now, Glorybringer works amazing with those multiple combat steps because you get to just exert it every combat. Wait a minute. Let me read that. You may exert Glorybringer as it attacks. Yeah, because you're attacking. And you just keep exerting it. Sweet. Ryusei for, for the body and taking something out. Now, I've noticed that when I play Ryusei, it's not that big of a his 5 damage is not that big of a deal because most time he gets wiped away instead of spotted away. Steel Hellkite, awesome removal, as is Flame Dragon. Now the Archwing Dragon. Here again, this is probably one I'll take out for, I don't know, a various Sarkin because we don't really have a whole lot of. I've got it in there because it's a 4-mana dragon, and I'll get to why here in a second. As a matter of fact, let's roll through some of these cheaper ones. The Dragon Whelp, Dragon Egg, Rakdos Pit Dragon, the Dragon Hatchling, and the Hellkite Hatchling. Now, those are not in there for curve consideration. Well, I guess kind of they are. But the low, and of course Varix, which I love how he scales. But they're in there for the Cryptic Gateway, so that you can play a turn 3 dragon and a turn 4 dragon for the little guys, and then you play your gateway, and at instant speed, if somebody's attacking you, you can just be all like, tap my 2 and Tika's Dragon all up in your face and block with it. Yeah, Rampage just almost doesn't naturally come into play. You have to force it with lure effects and whatnot. But still, I put Tika's Dragon in there because it's Tika's Dragon, Of course, the Destructor Dragon, Firestoker. Predator Dragon is good, but I don't know if this is the right deck for it, maybe, because it's not like we're devouring a whole bunch of anythings. Scourge and Stormwing. Now, y'all know I'm not a fan of Morph, but put a +1/+1 counter on each other dragon you control. Yeah, that was too good to not do. Much like the Cryptic Gateway, of course, we have the Bell-based Portal, which is kind of a cheaper version. I say cheaper. It's 5 to cast and 3 to use, and you have to name a creature. Then the Quicksilver Amulet, which is 4 and 4, which is you're still out 8 total mana for your first activation, but it's fine. Let's see what we got. Dragon-ish kind of cards. Of course, man, I love the Dragon Tutor. That's just awesome. And it kind of makes me want to put some more Sarkin shenanigans in here as well. Side of the Scale Lord is evidently fuzzy. Either the foil or we're just stacking up. Creatures you control with toughness are 4, which is going to be, quite a bit of them. Now. Here's the sexy part. At the beginning of combat on your turn, your 4 tough or better creatures get +2/+2 and gain vigilance. If you do this extra combat shenanigans, you get another combat step. At the beginning of that combat, they'll get an additional +2/+2. Yeah, so what, vigilance doesn't stack, but as long as you got it once, you got it. And if you can keep doing that and keep adding them 2s, it could get out of hand pretty quick. I mean, it's not bad for just a creature beats deck. Of course, Crucible of Fire, because there's no reason to not to. And this will even turn on your little dragons for your sight. Now, I'm running the Spit Flame, because let's face it, it's new and it's shiny. Boy, there's a pretty... that's just me. Ooh, it's new and shiny. And then, of course, Steely Resolve. Spot removal does exist. I mean, I play it a lot. A lot of people do play it a lot. But It ain't gonna hit dragons. Now, uh, removal wise, we ain't got a lot because it takes a lot to get the dragons to do the dragon things. You got to have the ramp and you got to have the dragons. So you are constantly putting out big giant flyers, but some things hurt you. So I'm running naturalize. And even the Broken Bond. Now, I'll admit when Dominator came out, I was stoked about this card. And I played with it, and it's good. It's not as good as I thought it was because, sorcery speed and whatnot, but it's still really good. A lot of times you're going to play it early enough, or you're. I think probably 60% of the time I've been able to drop a land with it. It does suck needing to cast it, not having a land in hand, and either you feel like you're not getting enough value or it chokes it in your hand, so you want to make sure that you got that land, and it probably cost you some tempo or whatever. Back to nature, because we ain't got a whole lot of enchantments, and if somebody blood bonds out there, I'm not ashamed to back to nature. Even if I lose my double meat, double cheese, I'm good. And of course, Hull Breach. We all know why go to responses in there, because I do. There's the feel bad of the rift, man. That's just all I got. It's. I don't run a whole lot of hate, but I figure since I was in Gruul, normally I would run a REB in this slot, but I was like, since I'm in Gruul anyway, and this way I can do green or red, I chose that. Of course, Fire Spout and Anger of the Gods. Now, I do have a Hour of Devastation that I picked up, and I was like, this is exactly what I. No, it's not. It kills all my dragons, or most of my dragons. So let's get to the lands. Now, as y'all know, I do the non-basic lands. So here we go. Carplusian Forest, 7th edition. It's I don't know. This art just doesn't really do it for me. But let's face it, it's what I have. But I don't know. To me, like 7th edition almost seems like legal proxies. Of course, we got Rugged Highland, the Refuge, Shivan Oasis. A lot of tap lands here, obviously. Guildgate, Timber Gorge, Vivid Grove, Gruul Turf, the Ewilds, Transguild Promenade, because evidently I bought like 80 of those jokers, so I've got them. And Haven of the Spear Dragon. It does things. It can get you the colorless, it can get you the mana that you need, so it's not completely useless from if you draw it early and are trying to play your rampant growth. And even late game, you draw it and you don't need any more mana. You can still do a thing. Well, that is what I have got for Atarka Worldrender. Like I said, it is kind of a basic deck. There's not a lot of tricks in it, and it's more than likely it's the deck at the table that is just going to get overlooked. As long as somebody's got a board wipe in their hand, you're kind of almost not a threat. Now, Eldrazi Monument would solve that. Well, not really solve it, but it would really help that problem. But as I said, there's a ton of cards we could put in here, but I like it, and it's a really good loner deck. Well, with that being said, I want to encourage everyone to support your friendly local game store. They are what make especially this format possible. I want to thank the guys at EDH Rec, and I will see y'all next time. Right now, I still hadn't got that Gitrog, so I've got this Limdol the Necromancer deck, but I don't know. I looked through it and it's pretty basic zombies, and I want to say that I can do better than that. Because how many times have I already built tribal zombies? So I don't know. I may shelve Limdul till I figure something better for him. But I do appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. And I want to thank you very much for the outpouring of the Twitter and YouTube, and everybody's just been absolutely wonderful. I love the community. And I want to also give a personal shout out to Jacob Williams. Jacob Williams is my very first patron. I do have the patron up and running. So I appreciate it, Jacob. I think right now we're going to shuffle and cut.